men plus the keeper around the batsman.
There we go. Fleming took the last one. Merv Hughes before him.
That's a hat-trick to Shane Warne, a great moment in his career. What a catch by David Booth. You won't see many better catches than forward short leg than that one. The Aussies are all around, and have a look at that.
G'day everyone, welcome to the Trad Geeks podcast, BBL. My name's Glenn, Tigers for Life, your host tonight. Our other two guests tonight are Ross and Alan. How you going, Roscoe?
Hey, good, thanks, Glenn. Yeah, good.
How's your round
Not
going,
having,
mate?
not having a good round.
You're not?
No, I made the mistake of going out and getting on the drink at the races on Saturday and didn't make any changes because I didn't know what was happening with the teams. And then when I went to go make the changes, my phone died and I wasn't home. So I missed out on bringing Richo in. I missed out on changing my VC. So I got a stinker.
Oh, no. So what point you on, mate?
I don't even know. That's how bad it is. I'll tell you in a minute. Go to Alan and I'll check in a minute.
All right. Hey, Alan, how you doing, mate?
Probably the same as Ross. I started the season. I had Bancroft and the buddy spinner from Perth on the bench.
Oh, no.
Get to round two, I'm like, oh, they're not playing. So I had to trade them out and use my boost.
Did you not listen to what I said on the podcast? Did you hear? So what I said to people on the podcast, just so people know for future reference, if you're buying ahead, buy players that you know their role. That way, if you buy players you know their role, you don't get stuck with those people. Like Kuhnemann tonight, a lot of people are going to get Kuhnemann. In my opinion, probably only play one game, which will be the Victoria game, and then possibly not the second. Just try and reduce the risk. So what? Oh, you told me you're on your points at round 5 something, wasn't it?
I'm 534.
Okay, and what was your rank from round 1? Oh, it's not that important.
3,712.
That's not bad. That's good. Well done. You're only new to BBL too, aren't you, Alan?
No, I've been playing it a while.
Oh, have you? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm on 709 with, 5 players playing tonight.
Yeah.
And captaincy's on Sam's. And the first round, after round 1, I was ranked 1340.
Okay. And your captain was Faruqi, wasn't it, Alan?
Yep.
Yeah, so hopefully he has a big game tonight. I actually think he will have a big one. So I'm on 1100. I thought I was having a bad round, but maybe I'm not having a bad round. But I'm on 11. I've got Short, Khan to play and 4 Thunder, so 6 to go. All right, well, tonight we're going to talk about the Heat. So we're only going to do a quick pod tonight. We're just going to go through the Heat lineup. So I'll read out the lineup that I believe it will be. But I've left out Kuhnemann and Brown. And so there's a chance that Kuhnemann is in this lineup and he plays the first game and not the second. But the lineup that I've come up with is this. So Bryant, Munro, Renshaw, Billings, Whiteley, Pearson, Basley, Nisa, Bartlett, Steckity and Swepson. So I'll come to you first, Ross. Do you agree or disagree with that lineup?
I think Brown will definitely miss out unless they drop Bryant, which I don't see will happen. And I think the other spot will be between probably Kuhnemann and Bartlett will be one of the two that miss out, I think. I just think Baisley, I thought about Baisley, but Baisley's handy with the bat too, so he can bat as well. So he's a handy to come in at number 7. So I think it'll be one of those two. But, I just want to say on Nessa, just be careful with Nessa. I mean, if you're okay with paying his price, there's a good chance he might only play one game because he could get called back into the test squad for Boxing Day. So, but in saying that, it's probably worth the risk. He's 100 and something. He's only just over 100K. He's probably worth just as much risk as bringing in a single game player.
Yeah, so I agree with you. I think it's out of Bartlett and Kuhnemann who takes that last spot. I think Kuhnemann will get named tomorrow night in Victoria, and then I think Bartlett will at the Gabba. But yeah, if I was to guess another one, I think Basley would be the one out of Bartlett and Basley. How do you see it, Queensland man over there, Alan?
Yeah, about the same. They're sort of a hard team, the Heat, to pick because their bowlers and their all-rounders go in and out of the side quite often. Like last year, Bartlett was always subbed out pretty much.
Yep.
So he's a bit of a risk.
It was frustrating owning it last year. I'm glad they got rid of that rule, guys. I'm sure you all did too. So the other thing before we get into the heat game is just remember, guys, that round 4 is a standalone round, and then round 5 it's heat. It's Renegades and Sixers play the double. So smarter players should have been buying people like Naveed and even Hussein while they were down at bottom dollar and, you know, working their way up. So I haven't done that, just for full disclosure, but I'll be bringing in one of them this round. All right, so I'll start with you this time, Alan. So who do you think out of the heat that you'll be looking at buying, mate?
Tough one. Maybe Pearson, but I don't know how high he's going to bat with Renshaw back in, or Billings is probably a safe option.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
a very bowlers. There's no one I really would touch, really. I've got Brown on the bench, but I doubt he'll play.
Okay, interesting. All right, I'll go to you, Ross. I know who I like in there. There's actually 5 in here I like, but I'll go to you first, Roscoe.
So I bought in, because of my stuff ups and not doing any trades in the Scorchers game, I actually bought in two heat players already this round. So I've bought in Swepson, I've bought in Renshaw.
Yeah, no.
I've already got Josh Brown, but obviously he probably won't play, so I'm not going to really count him. Billings, I was sub 1 at the start of the season until I found out he wasn't keeping, so I'm not sure about him. Just because he's batting up 4 and he's not keeping, and he scored a lot of points with the gloves last year, which he's not going to get this time around. But he does field in key positions too, I've noticed as well.
That's true.
So probably the only other one maybe is Nessa. I know a lot of people have jumped on Bryant, but Bryant I'm a bit not sure on. His form's not great, and you know, I just like you say, Glenn, I want players who are going to be locked into their positions, and there's no guarantee Bryant's going to play both games.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on job security with Bryant. I mean, Munro's not a bad option, but he's a bit pricey. The ones that I like, so Renshaw will be coming into my side, 100% going Renshaw. I mean, at 140k, likely to bowl over a couple overs, and he's in absolute sublime form. Then I'll probably be looking at between Nisa, Basley, and Swepson. As they're the players that I'm sort of looking at, or Steckity. I mean, Steckity, he's got good form for Supercoach. I really like Steckity.
I like him too, but I just don't like his price. He's very expensive.
Yeah, 180 was it?
Yeah, about that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
180. No.
All right. So, are you bringing in any? So, what are your trades looking like, Alan, for next week? So, you're bringing in who? Did you say?
I'm definitely going to get rid of some of the Sunder guys, like their Hales go. Russo, he can go as well. Not sure who else, but I'll start bringing in Sixers, Heat, and obviously Renegades players.
All right.
So I think.
You go.
I think who else there is. I don't think. What's his name? Guffel isn't here, so he's had 2 games for. Yeah, so he won't be able to play the double. I don't think Guffel.
No, Guffel won't be here for round 5. And what about you, Ross? Yeah. Have you locked in who your trades are? Are you looking at anyone from Renegades or Sixers this round?
Well, I've already got Hussein. I've already got him. I had him from the start.
Nice.
But I'm probably looking at bringing in a couple of Sixers players. I was waiting for them to drop in price, but Naveed looks okay as well.
Yeah, I've got him.
And Philippi's dropping nicely in price, so he could be a good pickup. But I might wait for round 4 for that and use the boost. I'm thinking of using the boost, my first boost round 4.
Yeah.
That way I can stock up my team with double game players for the round 5. But I'll probably bring one of each in. One more Renegade, 1 Sixer in for next round.
Yeah, nice. So while we're on that topic, we'll talk about players to sell. So who I'm selling, I've got Khan, Short, Ty, Sams, Agar, Richo. So I've got a lot of money invested up in a handful of players. So I'm going to get rid of Agar. I'm probably going to get rid of Hales or Faruqi.
Yep.
One of those 2. And then on the third, I haven't decided 100%. But I think Faruqi and Agar are the 2 I'm looking at. I'm going to hold Ty. I'm going to hold Richo. Although it's a lot of money to hold Khan, Short, Richo, Sams, Ty. So I'll see how that unfolds as the round goes. But Steckett is the one that I might look at just because he'll be a pod. I think the fact that he's at that price range, it'll steer a few people away from him.
Yeah.
Because I mean the value is obviously Renshaw at 130, and from memory, Swepson's 105. Is that right? 107.
Yeah.
Yeah, 107.
Yeah.
And Basley was 146, and then the other one was Renshaw 136. I said that, and Steckety 177. Yeah. So All right. I don't agree with you, Alan, on Pearson. I think he bats too deep, but I actually had Pearson in my side on the bench from my starting side, and I ended up swapping him to Nisa. What's his name? Nelson from Adelaide. And
Nielsen.
So you went from someone who batted number 6 to someone who batted number 7.
Yeah, well, I had somebody because I needed to move around Inglis and Gilts.
Mm.
I ended up getting 5 catches. The
Yeah,
legend.
but you didn't play him, did you?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you did?
I left Gilks out and put in Nielsen and got his points.
Yeah.
And I did it again this round. I didn't play Gilks again. I just played Inglis. And I played Shadab over him. So, all right, well, there's not a lot to talk about, really. I mean, I'm not sure what else to say other than that's the lineup, which is Bryant, Munro, Renshaw, Billings, Whiteley, Pearson, Hasley, Nisa, Bartlett, Steckity and Swepson. The first 2 games, the first one's Victoria, so we'll talk about that first, Alan. What do you think that game will look like? Do you think that's a spinning deck or pace or?
Ooh, yeah, definitely spinning deck. I don't know what the weather's like in Geelong, but I know Renegades haven't had actually much luck at that stadium. So obviously it is Finch's home ground. So see how that goes.
All right. Well, so what we'll do is next pod that we'll do, guys, we'll talk about who to bring in a single game. And most people in the next round will be looking at Sixers and Renegades players. And what I suggest to you is this round, if you're going to bring any Sixers or Renegades in, look for the ones that are got a low break even, so that you can make a bit of money and get them before they go up in price. So is there anything else you want to add about the Heat, Ross?
No, not with the Heat. No, not really. No.
And Alan?
Nah, nothing with the Heat.
No, well, that's the one we've got for the double. So, all right. Well, so is there anything else we want to talk about, or we just talk about those for tonight?
Maybe about which international players will be joining soon, or which ones will be leaving, so people can also plan on players when they have to get rid of them.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I'll do that on the next pod because I'll have to research that up so that I have it all in front of me. I know that there's a few leaving round 5. Is Khan leaving round 5?
I think he's around 5, round 6, somewhere around there.
Yeah, there's a few of the internationals leaving. I'll do that on the next pod, guys. So I'll make that an effort. I didn't even know I was hosting tonight, by the way, guys. I thought our leader Dan was on. We thought Tim was on. Tim failed on us. Trying to get the numbers this season is not as easy. But anyway, look, we won't keep rambling on. We've got out the players for this round. Look, what I will say just before we go is, Ross, so who are you targeting from Sixers and Renegades?
So probably Philippi and Naveed, and then for Renegades, probably Majid, but maybe Maddo. I'm not sure yet.
Yeah, Maddo, definitely. And what about you, Alan?
I've already got Naveed, so I probably won't go with Philippi because I've got enough wicket keepers. So maybe Silk as a pod because he seems to always score well.
Okay. Yeah, I don't hate it.
And maybe Finch as well.
Yeah, I don't hate Finch. I think I'll be getting on Finch unless Sean Marshall's back. I'll definitely be looking at Finch. I think I'll be going Kane Richo and Madison from Renegades, and I think from Perth I'll probably for Sixers I'll probably be looking at Philippe, Abbott, and I'm not sure on the other. Naveed would be the other one, I think.
I got just before we go. There's 2 questions on the page 2, Glenn.
Oh yeah.
So the first one is best captaincy option for the Heat. Who do we think's the best captaincy option for the Heat? I mean,
well, depending on who you have. So my guesses would be, I think Nisa would be a really good captain, but he comes with a risk. Because he might not play the second one. But if you're willing to throw the dice, I think Nisa's an interesting one. And I don't mind Renshaw either. You know, the fact that Renshaw's batting 3 and he could possibly bowl a couple. He's in some pretty nice form. I think
Renshaw is definitely a good shout if Kuhneman isn't playing, because I think if Kuhneman's playing as well as Swepson, as well as Nessa and all the other bowlers, I don't think he'll get a bowl, but he's definitely worth a look. But again, it's risk with reward because he may not bowl the second game. So, but I don't mind Swepson as a bit of a pod either.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Who are you thinking, Alan?
I was thinking Sweppo.
Yeah, Swepson. Yeah, well, I don't hate that at all. So Swepson, Steckity, Nisa, Basley and Renshaw are all good good options. I think Basley's probably my favourite captain option. If I know he plays both, I mean, he's got the role that I like. I mean, the fact that I'd have to see the bowling lineup because I don't like a six bowling option. You know, he needs to be bowling, but I like Basley up front. But I have a feeling that if Kuhnemann plays, it's better for Basley and Nisa, really.
And he's only 2.2% owned or something, so he's a pod at the moment, big time, big pod.
Who's that?
Basley, about
Yeah,
2.2% owned.
Okay.
All right. Well, no worries, guys.
All right, so the other question from Corey is, should I go 3 heat players like Kuhnemann, Basley, and either Steckity or Renshaw, plus a cash cow making with a boost, or go 4 heat players?
Well, so I'm not going so heavy on heat. I'm actually looking at only possibly going 2 or maybe 3. I haven't decided yet, and I'm building for the round after where I think there'll be more points. I don't think there's a lot of points on offer in the heat game. What was the second part of that question?
Take that, or go 4 heat, or go 3 heat and a cash cow.
Oh yeah, well that's what I'd be doing. Get 3 heat and looking at a Sixers or Renegades player. Yeah, that was the other thing I was going to say.
I agree. Corey, go probably 2 or 3 heat, and then go maybe Hussain from Renegades. I think his break even's about -34, so you're going to make you plenty of cash.
And just be careful of Kuhnemann. I have a feeling Kuhnemann could only play 1 game. And look, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But my gut tells me he'll play the first one and then he won't play the second. So if you buy him with the thought process he might only play 1 game. And the same warning came with Nisa. Apparently Hazelwood's pulled up okay and should play the test, but there is a chance or a scenario where Nisa could get pulled out of the second game as well.
Yep.
All right. Well, anything else you want to say, Alan?
No, that's all
Well,
I can think of.
Thank you, mate, for coming and joining us. This is the first time we've had you on the pod, and it's a bit of a quiet one tonight. But the BBL's a
That's
bit
all
like that. Yeah, we just have quick pods and boot off. And again, Ross, thanks for coming on, mate.
No worries.
And nothing else needs to be said, then we'll end it, I guess.
So you wanna be a champion?
Men plus the keeper around the batsman.
There we go. Fleming took the last one. Merv Hughes before him.
That's a hat-trick to Shane Warne, a great moment in his career. What a catch by David Booth. You won't see many better catches than forward short leg than that one. The Aussies are all around, and have a look at that.